and welcome back to our channel, Glasgow Ghost Hunters. I'm Pedro. Debs will be appearing on camera later on. So, first and foremost, we'd like to thank those of you who came across from Beardo's Lab to look at our premiere. It was very much appreciated, and we're now almost, at the time of filming this, up to 900 subscribers, which is a place we didn't think we'd be after launching the channel about 4 weeks ago. It's a place we didn't think we would be after launching the channel 4 weeks ago. So thank you. However, on a more sort of negative note, with the sort of territory we're in here, obviously there comes negative comments on the video that we posted. We will be covering these negative comments later on in the video. However, we're going on at the moment to look at another video that Lee has done, and I hope during this video to show you how we believe he faked this video. And remember, this is just our opinion that he's faked it. Okay, so enjoy, and thank you very much. Hello, Pedro here. Future me. Just a quick word. Don't be going across and giving any hate to anybody that we've mentioned in this comments today, or anybody else in the community. Let's keep this community nice as it is. This is just us replying to some of the negative comments we got, and don't be going. And I'll say as well, don't be going across and giving Lee any hate either. We don't want that. We're just expressing what we found in the videos and replying to our comments. Now back to the video. And like I said in the introduction there, we're going to look at one of Lee's videos again today. So the one we're going to look at is this one. What is happening? Basically scary poltergeist activity is what he said, right? So it opens up here with Lee sat in the lounge there. I don't know what he's playing with, but you'll notice the telly's on again but not playing. The telly never seems to be playing. Now I don't know if you just heard that, but a voice said Vlad. This is his Alexa, which will come clear in a few moments when he goes up there. I believe, and I've done a little bit of research, and I've got an internet article that I'll add in on the editing round about here, right? So if the video pauses for a few minutes, it's because I've added it here. That shows you that you can actually custom your Alexa with what you want without saying anything. You can actually do it via your phone, so as far as we know, it could be anybody else in the house doing it. Now, if you didn't catch that, it says wife and kill, right? So I don't know what story he's going to make up here, but let's see anyway.
You killed her. Brother Young.
So Alexa's going off. I don't know if you would have actually heard it, what was being said.
Oh, we heard it alright, because the sound looks like it had been turned up a little bit in editing so we could hear it. So I'm not going to show you all his video in case I get copyrighted, but we start hearing, he starts having a conversation with it, and the Alexa basically says to him, you're gonna die and all this, and he says he's not ready to die, and he basically is blaming it on Vlad and that again.
I don't have time for this. Right on the wall and on the paper.
So I've moved it on a little bit here, right, and you will notice here that
is that what's happening?
that he's now blaming the spirit in here for him writing on the wall. The previous video not the previous video, but the video before that we did on Lee, I'll link it at the end of here, is where Lee says that he writes binary code on the wall because someone during the night tells him. Well, I did a little bit of research and found out that there's actually a binary code translator, so you can type in what you want in English and then click it to binary code and it comes out exactly as it is. Or if you know the binary code, you can type that in and it translates it back to English, and that's exactly what I did on my first ever video I did on Lee. So again, he's faking this shit.
Faithless.
I don't know what's going on here. This is so random. Generally with Alexa, when it speaks, there's a reason for it to be speaking. It doesn't usually just go random like this.
The reason it's random, in my opinion, is, or the reason it's going like this tonight is, it's for views. There is nothing else bar views. Now, I got a comment in my last video that said that Lee wouldn't do this on a weekly basis just for income from YouTube. Yes, he would. Right? If he gets enough clicks, enough ad revenue, he can make money off of YouTube.
Dad is next to you, Lee.
Again, he's using it to see Dad, because Alexa just said there, Daddy is next to you, Lee. So I believe he's using his dead dad, which if he is a bit of a shocker, like.
Were next to me.
Family love you.
Completely covered. Oh, my back is killing me for some reason. Let me just go and check up there. Am I really speaking with the spirit that identifies itself as Vlad? What the hell?
You just heard a loud noise there, right? And he makes reference to it with text on the screen. So go over that again.
Let me ask you questions. Am I really speaking with the spirit that identifies itself as Vlad? What the hell?
Now, we've heard a noise there in the background, and I'm sure just before I heard the noise, I heard a click, which says to me that the sound has been overlaid. However, once again, as I've stated in the comments in my last video, which you'll see in this video as well, because we're going to go over the negative comments that I got in my last video. Everything that happens in Lee's house can either be explained properly or it happens off camera. Now, if Lee's house is as haunted as he says it is, surely he would have cameras absolutely everywhere covering every part of the house so that people like me and other people can't say, Lee, that's fake. But he doesn't. Conveniently, he's got the camera in the lounge, the one in his bedroom, as far as I've seen, the one he carries about with him, and everything happens off camera. I don't believe this crap for a second.
So I've just heard a big bang upstairs, and that's just said Lilith.
I don't think it did say Lilith. It said something, but I couldn't hear it for the noise.
I'll come back to communication in a minute. Oh, my back is killing me for some reason. Let me just go and check up.
Your back's killing you because of the way that you lay about on the lounge and and lounge about in the sofa in most of your videos. So, surprise, surprise. There's a piece of furniture thrown over again, right, which looks like a drawer unit or something from this angle. fact, it actually looks like an ottoman. I stand corrected, it looks like an ottoman. Now he goes on to claim that that's heavy and there's no way it could have just fallen over on its own. But the issue I have here is that there's no cameras covering there. And like I've said, if Lee's house is really that haunted, he would have cameras everywhere so that we could see exactly what was happening. But he doesn't, does he? He just he also goes on to this video to say that he's going to be getting help from not just priests but from demonologists and people like that, so that he can clear the house of any nastiness. But in my opinion, now this is my opinion and Deb's opinion, right? I keep pointing back. I don't know why I point back here because there's no hiding behind me, Ken. It's of our opinion that he's going to get someone in here to do something to the house, right? Like he's done before, but this time it'll be a demonologist or a witch or something. It's going to be okay for a couple of weeks, and then I reckon the activity will intensify, and then he'll blame it on the person that he brought in. I mean, I could be totally wrong, and I'll hold my hands up if I am, but I reckon that'll be the next thing that will happen in his house. So the final bit of the video I'm going to go over is round about this part here where he gets the SLS camera out. Now I don't know much about SLS cameras, but what I will say is if you want to know a lot about SLS cameras, go over and look at a video by Kenny Biddle. I'll link Kenny's channel here. He debunks a lot of these paranormal things. The equipment, all that, shows you how it's done and all that. So go over and look at his channel. And if you're not doing anything much on Friday night, go over to Beardo's Live, because Kenny Biddle's going to be on Beardo's Live as well. I'll be watching it. So, over there and have a look. So here's a part I'm going to go to now. So we will go to there. Here we go. Excuse me folks, but every time I film a video, I get a really itchy nose.
Right, we've got Alexa set up behind me.
He just basically, from here on in, plays about with the Kinect. There isn't a lot happens. However, he changes from the Xbox One to the 360 constantly, and he's just look. There's one point here where it shows he's left the seat, right, and the actual Kinect figure's still there. Now it's picked him up again as well.
Last chance. I'm going to end this.
So yeah, it just proves that the actual Kinect isn't really a tool as far as I'm.
Hi, so now it's my turn, and I get to go through the negative complaints that we've had, negative comments that we've had. First one we've got here says, the problem I have with exposers is that it takes more faith to believe that everyone is a liar, cheat, deceiver and charlatan, and that every instance is fabricated, than it does to believe in the supernatural. Come on, there is skepticism, and then there is being completely closed-minded. I refuse to believe that Lee is the most amazing actor, editor, FX creator, computer graphics expert, and deceiving liar the world has ever seen, and that his wife and even his dogs are in on the fakery. I've watched Lee for a few years and don't doubt his sincerity or experiences. Well, that's only the start of that comment, but to start the reply, it does take a lot more to believe in the supernatural and the paranormal than it does to disbelieve. That's fine. However, we aren't the only ones who do believe in it, with a healthy skepticism. And when we're out, we try and debunk our own experiences before we would even consider passing them on to anyone else. However, there are certain issues with Lee that really can't be dismissed, and we aren't the only ones that pick them up. Even our grandchildren spot them. For example, the sofa. It might be heavy, but however, if somebody's sitting behind it at the wall, they can push it out with their feet. Even a reasonable sized female could do it. Or it could be pulled from the other end. Maybe with Lee's help, as he is not visual at this time. Then the board comes out. Fine. Lee appears sometime after that, having either come down the stairs or potentially in through the front door. The door is clearly heard to open before Lee makes his appearance. That could also have been the person who moved the sofa sneaking out of the door before Lee appears. Lee comments that there isn't even room to squeeze past. However, he walks quite safely and not the slightest bit squeezed round the sofa and into the main area of the room. Therefore, there would have been plenty of space towards the bottom of the sofa for somebody to get behind it and move it from there and push the board out at the speed that it did. Onto the balloons. Lee states that he has cleared all the balloons away, or he believes he's cleared all the balloons away. One can clearly be seen in the lounge near the window. However, that isn't the one that we hear pop. Lee goes for a drink of water. Excessive tap turning. If I tried to fill a glass of my house with the pressure flying out of the tap like that, it'd hit the ceiling. It's possible that the balloon that was discovered then in the kitchen was popped at that point. However, the noise that it makes when it pops is exceptionally loud and sounds very close to a microphone, not as though it's in another room. It takes Lee ages to go and check and to look for this popped balloon, which sure enough he does eventually find one in the kitchen, although I believe that one was shown right at the very beginning still up. Could have been popped when he was making so much noise filling his water glass. Sitting in the lounge after that, Lee is then barraged, shall we say, by other balloons popping. Several of them, in fact. All the identical popping noise. Balloons don't all pop exactly the same, depending on the amount of air in them. And all at the same volume. Therefore, given that there was only one other balloon visible after he did his balloon sweep, showing you that there weren't any, and that remaining balloon was the one in the lounge, the other pops, after being overlaid afterwards, there was no reaction from Lee to any one of these other balloon pops, nor did he attempt to go and look for where they came from. Lee then comments on noises on the landing upstairs. It's probably quite right, there are noises on the landing upstairs, it can be clearly heard. It's the noises that floors tend to make when people walk across them, indicating that there's somebody moving around and potentially setting things up when Lee goes upstairs. I don't believe for 1 second that Lee's house, whilst all houses have their own noises, don't believe for a second that that house make such footsteps, shall we say. In the bedroom, it takes, sorry, Pedro is showing me a rar sticker. In the bedroom, when the door initially opens, with some force, it takes Lee quite some time to get off his bed and go out and check what's happening on the landing, as to who could be there, what could be the cause. He also goes without his camera, then looks on the landing, nothing there, comes back, gets his camera, and then takes it to show us that there's nobody on the landing. Well, in the 5 minutes that it takes him to do that, whoever it was could be anywhere. They could be in the shower by then. They're certainly not sitting on the landing waiting to go, "Hi, it was me." Again, what do you do? It's totally unbelievable. On to the second half of this particular comment that we had. It reads, "The other problem I have is that many of these exposers, like the Shape and Beardo, refuse to accept that any paranormal activity and ghosts are real. Ergo, everything has to be faked because it cannot be real, according to their belief system. In other words, if it can be faked, it is faked, just as you showed here with the couch. You do know that there have been instances where that board has slid out when the couch was flush against the wall, right? Or did you just watch this video? This is not a good avenue of approach, and I will put much more stock in a paranormal investigator who believes and exposes charlatans in the paranormal world than a non-believer." Well, in response to that, I most certainly am a believer in the paranormal, having had my first experience 56 years ago, and to this day have my deceased daughter spirit around us, and a mischievous little thing she can be at times. Pedro had his first experience over 20 years ago, and to this day still has experiences. Beardo and other debunkers, exposers, as you want to call them, some may not have had an experience, some may be waiting for their first experience, others have had plenty of experiences. But choose, like we do, to have a healthy level of skepticism around such videos and such investigators who quite blatantly take the mickey by creating experiences. Lee's house currently must be the most active house in the entire British Isles, with the amount of activity that is in there every single night. If that's the case, Lee can make a fortune charging teams to go and investigate. 30 East Drive does. Come on, Lee. Let a team come down and investigate. You can be there, make sure that nobody does anything. You can film it yourself. But at least it'll let us prove that there's a lot less goes on than you say. Nothing's saying that nothing goes on. But who knows? Therefore, I would say that those of us who have a healthy level of skepticism but do follow the paranormal are much more believable than people who blankly refuse to accept that not everything is quite as real as it seems. Anyway, for tonight, that's me heading off. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye from him. Oops, he's not there. Bye.
Right. Anyway, we'd just like to thank you all again for coming over and watching our premiere on Tuesday night. It was very much appreciated, and we hope the channel grows further than it is, and we thank you all for the very nice comments that there's been in the comment section, and for the love and support that we've seen since we actually properly started using this channel. So it's Pierre McPherson, Glasgow Ghost Hunters,